Welcome back to Sportsworld. It's one of the most spectacular mountain kingdoms on earth. Lesotho in southern Africa is a country of around 2 million people, most of whom live in remote mountain villages. It's one of these villages which recently became the backdrop to one of the world's most unusual and entertaining horse races. Joanna Gajarowska reports on Lesotho Independence Day race.
It's a day at the races in the remote African kingdom of Lesotho.
I think wherever there have been horses in the world, there must have been racing.
From the Grand National to the Kentucky Derby, great races of the world attract more than just jockeys, punters and breeders. They're a high point on the social calendar. Lesotho's Independence Day race is no different.
Out in the mountains, races happen all over the mountains, where villages are racing their horses against each other.
Lesotho is known as Southern Africa's kingdom in the sky. Home to hundreds of remote mountain villages, many at altitudes of 3,000 feet or more. John Hauser grew up in these mountains. Despite his platinum blonde hair, he is as Basotho as they come.
Lesotho of English descent, is the way I put it. We have 4 generations of my family going back to when the English first got here in the 1800s. And now it's part of everyday life. To get through these mountains, you must have a horse. If you want to live in these remote areas and you actually want to transport yourself and your goods and all of that in, it's your vehicle. It's a 4-wheel drive. And I think that's actually the small size of the ponies, the very stockiness, the sure-footedness, the small little hooves that can walk around rocks. All those features over the years have come into all the Basotho ponies.
An ancient mix of Arabs and cold-blooded horses from the steppes of Asia, the Basotho ponies are bred for endurance, stamina and speed. Fitness training is a lifestyle for the Lesotho pony. These horses are ridden each day in some of the toughest conditions Africa has to offer. Ntata Fatuka has made his name as a leading breeder in these parts.
I know his horses are really good at the moment. He's been working hard, and I have some undercover reports that have come to me that his horses are really sharp.
The young one, I have just started it. It is going to be the first race, which is going to. The older one started last year.
The local favourite is a steely grey called Sabotsera, which literally translated means your enemy is afraid.
He's going to win this race again.
Sabotsera was the undisputed champion in last year's big race.
I remember it was this time last year. It was late in the afternoon and the sun was about to set. There in the distance were 3 horses. The other 2 were far ahead of mine. Then suddenly, in the last 10 metres, Sabotsera came up behind them and shot past them like a bullet. It's something I'll never forget.
Independence Day dawns cold and cloudy. Crowds gather on the racetrack, a 2-kilometre stretch in the hilly terrain.
It's a slightly uphill track. It does have a couple of dips like this, which makes it exciting for the jockeys because you can fall off for when you're really going through these dips. It's an uphill race, so your horse must be fit to win it. I'll get out there and I'll have a look around, and there'll be some mates if I whipped or beaten a few races beforehand who've come for me, and they might have their horses in much better condition than I have. And you're going to look around and you're going to pick a horse that you think you can beat.
Sabotsera, the local favourite, arrives with his entourage and a big bet.
This one's got the cow, which is the little calf there, and that is going to be the bet.
cow worth around $450. That's more than most people here earn in several months.
There's a little bit of money involved, but it's also honor, and it's a game. It's fun, and there's a bit of gambling, but it's not all about that. It's a game, and it's fun. See the pretty horses playing in the mountains.
In the far distance, an unknown danger appears over the hills. A newcomer has arrived to challenge the local champions. They call him Black Mamba.
Black Mamba. Black Mamba. Black Mamba.
Named after a venomous snake, Black Mamba and his supporters have travelled for 3 days from an outlying village to race Sabotsera.
What's going to win? Black one. Black one? Yeah. Black Mamba. Good. Yeah, Black Mamba's going to win this. Your favorite? Yeah.
The strangers from out of town would rather win cash than a cow. But in the spirit of good sportsmanship, they agree to match the wager. With challenge accepted, the horses and riders prepare for the big race. Song, prayer, and sometimes even a little African magic known as muti is invoked to give the horses a head start.
The side that is a little bit confusing, that is nobody quite understands, is the slightly mystical side, where I saw the one fellow, he's got a little bottle with water in it, and before it races he goes and puts a drop of water on each hoof, you know? And then it runs really fast. There's things like that. I wonder what's in that water and where he got it from. And hey, sometimes his horse really wins and it does run faster than the others, and then you think, well, maybe it does work.
Black Mamba and Sabotsera will run the longest race of this Independence Day meet, a distance of about 1,800 metres.
Once they start going down the racetrack, the ponies start getting excited. They know they're going to race, and the jockeys are keeping them, you know, just relaxed as possibly can, but they, you know, they're all bouncing around there.
The flagman gives the signal, and the great race is underway. But to the local shock, the home favourite veers off the track, giving Black Mamba a clean start and a clear ride home. Black Mamba crosses the finish line first and is declared the winner.
There's going to be a big objection. There's going to be a massive objection or something.
The race of the day is dampened by the rain and a false start, but the rules are clear.
Oh, there's going to be a huge fight.
There's a mixed feeling from the crowd, and despite the outcry, the committee decides that the competitor from out of town will ride off with the winnings. The home fans were lifted by the remaining races. Tata Fatuka gave John a run for his money. His horse, Smart Centre, beat John's Blixen Hood by less than half a head, finally breaking John's lucky winning streak.
Now, you were talking about that medicine and all of that sort of thing. Last year I beat Petoka in about 3 races where the races all started and for some reason Petoka's horse didn't finish. First his jockey fell off and then it ran around in a circle and lost the track. And that was quite quirky because everybody said I was using all sorts of muti here, but I wasn't. I was, you know, nobody really uses it. We just...
The crowds begin to disperse when suddenly the flag goes down on an unexpected race. In the name of good sportsmanship, Sabotsera and Black Mamba are on the track again. And Black Mamba once again steps out and crosses the line first. To claim the title of undisputed champion, of the Lesotho Independence Day race. Joanna Gajrowska, Al Jazeera.
Don't forget to check out our website aljazeera.net/English, where you can find all the latest sport news, watch any of our Sports World stories again, and let us know what you think of the show. And that's it for this edition of Sports World. I'm Sana Hamouche, you're watching Al Jazeera.